Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday School. It is the Sunday after Easter, and we have some exciting stories up ahead for us. This week, we are talking about the Great Commission. Have you heard about the Great Commission before? Do you know what that is? Well, we're going to find out. Let's read our Bible story in our Bible story book. It's in the book of Matthew. So, the title of our story is The Great Commission from the book of Matthew, chapter 28, verses 16 through 20. Mary Magdalene and Mary told the followers that Jesus was alive and that all of Jesus' followers needed to go to Galilee to wait for Jesus. They all traveled to Galilee. They sat in the green grass listening to the sound of the sea swishing while they waited for Jesus. When Jesus appeared, the followers worshiped him. Jesus said, "God has given me power over everything in heaven and earth." Jesus gave the followers special instructions to share the good news about him with the world. Jesus said, "Go to all people and teach them about me. Baptize them. Teach them to love one another and to do all the other things that I have taught you to do. I will be with you always, wherever you go, for all time." And then we didn't really take time to look at the pictures, did we? So let's look at the pictures really quick. So there's Jesus, and it looks like he is teaching, telling them things, and everybody is listening to him. All his followers. This guy's taking notes. They're listening to the words of Jesus so they can do what Jesus said. Have you heard this story before about the Great Commission? You might have. Commission is a really big word that just means someone is telling someone else what they should do. And in this case, it's Jesus commissioning his followers. So he's telling his followers what they should do. And he's commissioning them to tell everybody on earth about him and do the things that Jesus taught them to do. Like wherever you are in the world, remember to love others and be kind and follow the Ten Commandments and take care of the earth. All the things that Jesus did, he's commissioning his followers to do. And guess what? That includes us because we're also Jesus' followers. Isn't that pretty cool? So even though Jesus was talking to a group of looks like the women and the disciples in our Bible story book, he was speaking to them directly, but it also applies to us some 2,000 years later. It's so cool, right? This week, we do not have a wonder question, and instead, we have a hidden picture challenge again. So it says, can you find the cross, the dove, and the heart? So I'm going to be posting this picture, or these two pictures, tomorrow on Facebook and Instagram. And you can look up the pictures, or you can go back in this video and see if you can spot them. But I'll post some pictures tomorrow, and you can see if you can find all the shapes. So our craft today is a Great Commission craft. It's going to be fun. So Jesus told his followers to go all throughout the world, baptizing people, telling people about Jesus, doing the things that Jesus told us to do or that Jesus did, following Jesus' example. We've been talking about that for such a long time, haven't we? How Jesus was such a good example for us and how we need to live and relate to others and how we need to relate to God even. Jesus was our example. And so he said, go through all the world, wherever you are in the world, wherever you go in the world, do these things that I have taught you. So today's craft is about the world. So for it, you will need some markers, a paper plate. If you don't have paper plates, cut a circle out of whatever paper you have. White paper, colored paper, doesn't matter. Then some construction paper or printer paper or whatever paper you have. Again, I have some green construction paper strips. that I'm going to use, but we're gonna cut smaller strips out. I'm gonna make my strips smaller too. So if you have a whole sheet of paper, that's fine, because we're just gonna cut some small little strips off, and I'll show you about that in a minute. Paper can be any color. Scissors and some tape. Okay, so to start out, take your markers and either your paper plate or the circle that you have cut out of some other paper. Do that first, and then we're going to color our paper plate to look like the earth, because Jesus said in the Great Commission, go throughout all the world, baptizing people wherever you go, do the things I taught you. So we're gonna draw the earth. It doesn't have to look exactly like the earth. Mine is definitely not going to. I'm gonna start with green. You can just kind of draw shapes and color them in, and they do not have to look just like map shapes. Or if you're really fancy, you can get a map out and make them look just like the earth shapes on your map. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to draw some lines. Okay, so this is my earth shapes. And the ones that I drew, I'm going to fill in with green to be the ground, and blue for the water part of the earth. Okay, there's my earth shape, and I guess it could just go any which way, couldn't it? Probably this way. So the next thing, clean up your area. You may need to pause the video and take some time to finish your earth drawing and coloring in. So if you need to do that, go ahead and pause now, and then when you come back, we'll keep going, okay? So the next thing is, you will take your paper, your other paper that you have, and we need to cut out little strips. So you just need to cut a small strip out of whatever paper you have. I think that's probably good. It's about 1 inch wide. It could be a little smaller. I'm gonna do that for both my papers, so it's gonna be 4 strips total. Then once you have your 4, we're gonna fold them like accordions. So if you haven't done that before, you take your paper and you fold it just a little bit in one direction, so it's sticking out like that. Can you see? And then you take that and you fold it in the other direction so that the folded parts are the same size. So this part is just as big as this part. Does that make sense? And then you're gonna fold it back the other way again. And that when you keep doing it like this, back and forth, folding the paper, it makes what we call an accordion shape. It's kind of this zigzaggy, flexible shape to your paper. So keep folding, and we're gonna do this for all our strips. So it might take a minute. You might need to pause the video. We're just gonna keep folding until our strips are all folded, and then we'll do the next part, okay? Do you have your strips folded into the accordion shapes? If you still need more time, you can pause the video and keep folding. But if you're ready to continue, let's continue on. So these are kind of bouncy shapes, right? Because they're the accordion. Isn't that fun? We're gonna take our paper plate and I think I want mine to go that way. Flip it over, or your sheet of paper, whatever you have. And these are going to be little arms and legs on our earth shape. So you have it on the back, and we're gonna lay our accordion pieces down. I'm doing the arms first, so the arms kind of come out at the sides of your plate. You don't want to put them too high or too low. And then just tape on the end of the accordion piece so it stays there and then kind of hangs off the edge. Do that for both sides. And then we'll do the legs of our accordion piece. And same thing, so the legs need to come out kind of the bottom of your earth shape and hang off. And then look how cute. It looks like your little earth has arms and legs. And if you want, you can draw a face on it with like a black or brown marker, little eyes and a smile. I don't know that mine would show up great if I did that, so I'm not going to do that. But if you want to draw a face on it, you can. But here's our earth shape, and it has arms and legs, and it reminds us to go throughout the world, wherever we go. We have arms to hug and to be kind with and to reach out to others with, and we have legs to carry us to go to places, to share the good news about Jesus with all people, just like Jesus said in the Great Commission. So this just reminds us of all the things we can do on the earth, in the earth, with our bodies to fulfill the Great Commission like Jesus asked us to. So I know we didn't have a wonder question this week, but I'm going to ask one right now anyway. As we look at our craft, I want to ask you guys, I wonder, what is something you can do to do what Jesus told us to fulfill the Great Commission? So what's a big thing or a little thing that you can do to fulfill the Great Commission? You can talk about that with your family, the people who live with you. You can think about it to yourself, or maybe if you like to journal or write or draw to think about things, you can do that. But there's all kinds of stuff that we can do to be doing what Jesus commissioned us to do, right? Loving others and sharing with others and being kind and telling others about Jesus. A lot of times we think that the Great Commission just means we need to tell other people about Jesus all the time, and that's all we need to do. But remember, we've been talking all about how Jesus was such a good example for us in the way that he lived and spoke to others and treated others. And so even just being kind to others, or taking care of the earth, or sharing what you have, even things like that are all following Jesus' example, and that is what Jesus told us to do, was follow his example. That's what the Great Commission means. All right, that was our Sunday school lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed your craft. This guy might be fun to play with even, because it's like a toy with the arms and legs and stuff, isn't it? Or you could put it on your fridge or something, or even just tell somebody who lives with you after you get done with today's lesson about your craft and about our Bible story today and what those things mean to you, what you learned. That'd be a good thing to do. I, of course, love you guys so much, and I hope that you have a great week this week, and I will see you next week for some more New Testament stories, what Jesus' followers did after that. I think that's coming up. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys next Sunday, okay?